Good morning from the English countryside. It is Monday and we are starting the week with the most glorious weather. Look at these skies. Wow, I've already been for a run and the run was spectacular. It was like the most beautiful sunrise ever. I'm with the dogs to see Barclay's tail. We're heading off on about an hour's walk. It's a warm morning, I have to say. It's not particularly autumnal in temperature. I mean, there's a little frost, there's a lot of dew on the ground, but it's a really lovely temperature to be walking in. I have to be completely honest. In fact, there is so much dew on the ground that I have wet socks already because I put on my dewberries this morning, just because my feet were a little bit swollen, and because I'm obviously breaking in my Fairfax and Favours, these were just an easier option to put on. Instant regret. It's supposed to be looking like a really, really beautiful week. It should actually be a little bit warmer and lovely sort of weather. And I've got the majority of this week at home, which I thoroughly enjoy. Oh my gosh, look at these two. Little sausages in the turnips. I noticed that the trees are really starting to turn at the moment, and I think that that's what's really lovely about this time of year, when you're getting all of the signs of autumn, all of those really typical signs, like, you know, the greenery's sort of getting back its richness, but also things are starting to turn shades of like amber and brown. But then you might just get a really wonderful warm day still, and so it feels almost like a different country, and it's really, really lovely. I thought I would give you a dog walking outfit of the day today as well. I've got my leather lead. This is actually from Amazon. It's so lovely. It's got like brass detailing on it, but also like fully brown leather, and it's a double lead, so if you've got two dogs, it's really good for just if you're a solo walker, keeping both on a lead. I've then got a Beaufort and Blake shirt. This is one of the tartan ones that they did last year that I absolutely love. And then this is a Lily Silk cashmere cardigan. I just honestly don't know why you wouldn't wear cashmere when you're out in the cold. H&M trousers, or jeans, sorry. Bought these for dog walks. Pretty much living in them at the moment. Dewberry boots. And hair in a hun bun. And that is the outfit of the morning. There's lots of things I'm noticing on the walk this morning. The redness of the berries is a lot deeper now, I think due to the cold and potentially, I don't know, the wetness. They are super, super intense red. The conker tree this year has produced almost nothing on this level. I have to say, it's never looked particularly healthy, this tree. So maybe it has something to do with that, but yeah, usually we're sort of starting to see them on this level. They are up higher, so hopefully we'll get there's some coming down. Hopefully we'll get a few little conkers on the ground to collect for this year's decor, because that is what is happening this Friday. It is autumn install day. I am also noticing how tall the hemlock is. I think this is hemlock, either that or it's Queen Anne's lace, but I think it's the hemlock. But it's so tall this year. My goodness me, it's almost covering the views. This tractor has been in this field for a number of weeks now, and it looks like it started digging something and then just sort of aborted mission, but I hope it's okay. Well, I'm definitely back from my walk. Just like every Monday does, I end up just getting bogged down with work and not vlogging for the entire day, but I have just unpackaged and I've left the remnants all over the floor because Romeo got his first ever PR package from me, from Auntie Lydia. I'm not mum, I'm Auntie. If you don't know, Romeo is the horse I've been riding for like 3 years, and I have followed this brand called 16 Cypress on Instagram for ages now, and when they reached out and offered some attire for Romeo, I just jumped at the opportunity, and they let me pick. And the thing that I love about their saddle pads and their half pads is they do really smart ones. So if you can see, this one has like a herringbone tweed effect, and then it has gloves that match. He's also got ear nets to match. He's also got a full saddle pad to match as well, and he also has little leg splints as well. So if we're doing something fancy, we definitely dress him up, I think, in this one. This would definitely be his like fancy fit for sure. But I also got a few other bits and pieces. So this one I think will be like his kind of everyday one. This reminds me of like almost like a barber jacket as a full pad. This just looks like a really good everyday one. And then I also got his ear nets, but we have them just in case. And then this chocolate one, because he's got lots of white on him and then big chocolate splodges, this one I thought would be so pretty on him, again, as like that more everyday style saddle pad. So very, very happy with those. I'm very, very grateful, because obviously I am not the most skilled of rider. I'm just somebody that really, really enjoys it and loves it and embraces it. And I'm in the process of making sure that I have all of the right gear in terms of like safety and things like that. But also one day, who knows, I don't know yet, but one day I might have my own horse. I think that would be something that I would really like to do. Obviously I want to get to a point where I feel like comfortable and ready. But I know that Claudia and I are always like, she's always sending me horses like, oh my god, this one would be so good. But I'm really lucky with the setup that I have with Romeo, in the sense that I'm obviously helping out with him getting lots of exercise and things like that, but also I get to ride him, and Claudia understands when I'm not able to. So I've got a really good setup with regards to like my schedule and work commitments and that kind of thing. So who knows? Who bloomin' knows when it comes to like what will be next? But it would have to be a horse that is as like wonderful and chilled as Romeo, of course, because Romeo is just a dream. And I feel like we've come so far together in these years, and we're still on a little bit of a journey at the moment, but it's still, he's like very, very patient, and he's a really good like horse to ride, especially for me. So I'm supposed to be riding 3 times this week, but I'm only riding twice at the moment. I'm hoping I'm able to ride twice, but that is the plan. So yeah, I'm so grateful for this, because he's gonna look so smart and just, oh, he's gonna look so smart. One thing I want to get him as well is a new rug for in the field. So if anyone has any recommendations for a rug, that would be fantastic, because I think he would very much appreciate a new one. And I would like to do that for him. So yeah, very excited about that. Anyway, I'm gonna get on with my day. Thought I'd show you the bits that I got. I have not heard from Ali all day, and I'm very hungry for dinner. I'm just gonna say, ooh, that rhymes. But I got a new book. Obviously I finished my book, The Salt Path, in my last video. I thought I'd give you a sort of rundown of my thoughts on, now that I've finished the book. And what I would say is, oh, where do we go? What I would say about my thoughts on The Salt Path, now that I finished it, at the end, I was really moved. I actually didn't realise that it was a true story. I don't know what it was. I don't know why I thought it wasn't a true story. I don't know what made me think that it was not. But to realise that they'd actually been through that, and also to sort of hear that her husband is like still living with his disease. Not to spoil the book too much. Ugh, you just rubbed your willy on me. It was a very beautiful ending, a very moving ending. It just wasn't a book that made me like, oh, I stand by that this is a beautiful book. It's just not a gripping book. It's a real lesson in perspective. I think perspective is something that I have gone on a journey with massively. I used to allow what other people thought to influence what was happening in a situation. So if somebody else thought something was negative, but all along I'd thought it was a positive thing, I would allow them to make me think it was negative. And that happens a lot in society. And it was so interesting seeing how, you know, they were looking at their situation from a negative perspective, and yet so many people were looking at them thinking at how fortunate they were, that they had no time limit and they don't need to rush the salt path and that kind of thing. And so it's a real lesson in perspective, and I would say that actually arguably one that we don't get taught enough. So nowadays I would say that I decide what I think about things. Sorry, you are getting a front row seat in what it is like to live with Barclay. So I know that we get lots of comments on Barclay's size and weight. First of all, Barclay, I'd say, is a good few kilograms heavier than Porter anyway, and he's bigger in size. But you have an hour until your dinner, okay? An hour. You don't make the rules. So if you wouldn't mind, I need to finish what I was saying. Thank you. Because, and I think that this is a really important one to talk about, and I would love to talk about this more and discuss this more in depth with like other people. But like, you know, I think I've said it before, where people say, oh, you should be ashamed of yourself. But what if you're not ashamed? Like, you can't allow people to make you feel ashamed of something just because they feel shamed, just because they think it's shameful. It's such an interesting concept when you realize, no, I decide how I feel about this. Like, I decide. You could tell me that this was the worst thing. Like, you hear all those stories about people going through difficult times and realizing that it's actually the best thing that ever happened to them, and yet it was something that was feared or worried about. And I think that it's a real lesson in realizing that you get to decide your perspective on everything. And I know I often reference like my parents' divorce or whatever. I think that we're fed this narrative that like divorce is this terrible, terrible thing all the time. And so naturally you go, oh gosh, yeah, my parents divorced, I feel so sorry for myself. When in actual fact, half of the time people go on and they're happier. And I would rather see someone happy than see someone miserable for my sake. And so, sorry if I'm flashing my boob, but that's what I mean in terms of perspective. Like, we get fed a lot of narratives, just like in the book, they experience so many like cold responses, but they were living what was one of the most beautiful journeys, and they were living it without restriction, without time. But I think that's the thing that's really important in this, is that the lesson really that came from this was that, he's staring at me awkwardly, the negative perspectives that they'd had on their own situation, they soon realised, hold on a minute, why are we seeing this as a negative thing? This is the most beautiful experience of our lives. And it manipulated and changed and disrupted the course of their lives in such a degree that they got this beautiful new life that was different. And they describe it in the book as like the way that the tide alters the landscape and softens the sharp edges and rounds off the pebbles and things like that. It's the way that life manipulates and changes your life in the way that it needs to, in order for you to experience what you need to experience. And I relate to this massively in how my life before lockdown versus what my life is like now. My love. My love. I know all you want is food. I know it's what you live for. Barclay is literally that TikTok trend. If you were to ask me about dinner time, I would tell you that I love it very much. But if you were to ask me on a deeper level, I would tell you that it is my reason for being. It is my purpose. It gives me life. It makes me the happiest little sausage in the world. That is Barclay. Okay? I promise you, dinner is coming, my love. Dinner is coming. I promise. Promise. Barclay, my love. My love. My love. My love. What I was saying was, I went through a number of like tumultuous experiences during lockdown, whereby I launched a brand that didn't fail and I didn't know enough about doing it, and it just wasn't what it was supposed to be, and it became quite intense online. I think I had to go on a real journey of being able to deal with the online criticism. I had to learn who I was in myself, and you are pulling my boob out. I'm being accosted. You two, stop it. And what I would say about that time is that I didn't know who I was. I didn't trust myself, and I didn't like myself enough to stand strong in my intentions, in my thoughts, in what I believed. And so whenever someone said something about me and said that I was horrible or said this and the other, it would rock me to my core, because I would be like, I believe you. I believe you. And through those times and those experiences during lockdown, my life was like turned upside down in what I knew. And excuse me, am I in your way? I wouldn't have these two sausage dogs, for example, who literally break my balls on the regular, but I love very much. I wouldn't have them. I wouldn't have been forced out into nature to walk said sausage dog, who is very cute. And I wouldn't have discovered all of the things that I've learned that have now shaped my life into a much more calm and comfortable place. Whilst if you asked me if I wanted to go through those things and experience them like way back when, I would have told you absolutely not. I'd rather be frightened and worried about these things for the rest of my life. And instead, because this is how life works, it puts you in a position where you have to confront those fears. Some people will spend their whole life hiding and denying and pretending that their fears and what they're going through doesn't exist. But I realised that I wasn't able to continue if I didn't confront my issues. And my issues were, I didn't like myself at all. I didn't like myself. I didn't trust myself either. I literally thought that everybody else was a nicer, kinder, smarter, stronger person than I was. And that just wasn't the case. And so I was believing people who now I'm like, oh my gosh, Lydia, like, what were you doing? Like, you know that that was morally incorrect or whatever. Or your gut was telling you that this was a bad situation and you didn't listen. And so now I walk into every situation and I know and I trust, I know who I am, I trust my judgment, and I had to learn that. And I would not have learnt that, and I would never have bothered to learn it if I hadn't been forced into a space where I was like, I'm either going to disappear from the internet and never do this ever again and go and knit for the rest of my life, or you're going to continue doing the job that you love and you're going to keep going and you're going to keep ploughing through. So whatever your salt path, for example, might be, there are some really good lessons in this, and definitely lessons on perspective and learning what is right for you, learning to trust yourself and your resilience as well. It just might not be a page turner, but I am so happy that I've read it. So happy that I've read it. My next book, 13 minutes later, this was a moment. So I found this book on TikTok. I was served Caroline Montague. If you don't follow Caroline Montague on TikTok, oh, she is a fabulous woman living her fabulous English countryside dream and sharing it with the world. And I just think that I don't think I fell in love with someone's TikTok in such a way before. And then she's an author. I think she must be in her like 40s, 50s. And she's just living in her country home and sharing what life is like as an author living in the English countryside. And so I instantly went and bought one of her books. This is The Pieces of Us. Some of us are strongest at the broken places. A beautiful portrait of love and loss, and of hope and adversity. Mariana and Hugh were once madly in love, but after the loss of their beautiful little daughter, grief has created a distance between them that feels impossible to bridge. Mariana knows leaving Italy is the only way they will be able to move on, but Thorncliffe Hall, Hugh's family home in England, is so grey and unwelcoming. Just when it feels like it may never regain colour, Mariana and Hugh come across a striking china coffee pot in a London shop window, adorned with a fox flying through the night sky. The coffee pot comes attached with a mystery, one that is connected with Hugh's own family many years ago. Mariana is about to discover a story far beyond her wildest dreams. But will the past help her heal the present? And on that note, food? 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 Oh my gosh, food! Food, food, food. Come on, Barkley. Food, 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 food. Come on, let's go. Come on, food, 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 food. Come on, I can't go. Oh, come on, food, 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 food. Come on, food. Come on. Come on, food, 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 food. It has just gone up to 7 degrees, but it was 6. And look at this morning. You can just see the church in the left corner over the cornfield. Oh my goodness. Beautiful, beautiful skies on the way to my Pilates class this morning. Good morning. I'm going to turn the sonos off, but I have arrived home from Pilates to Ali playing the loveliest jazz soundtrack. At the moment, I am absolutely loving a jazz playlist. It just feels like so cozy. This one is called Crooner Classics on Spotify. Very nice. It's my assistant's birthday today, and my assistant loves my cakes. So I am going to quickly, well, she loves my cake. She loves my lemon cake, and she always says, please, can you get back into the habit of making it? So I made one last week. She had some, but I'm going to make some for her birthday today as well. So before she gets here, I'm going to whip something up very, very quickly. So I've got lemons. You can tell I've had a Pilates class because I'm like, do. Honestly, this morning, it was so glorious. And I realized, I had another one of my little realizations where it's like, in wintertime and in autumn time, if you're looking for a reason to enjoy the dark mornings, not everyone is going to be enjoyable because sometimes it's grey and it's overcast, but very, very rarely, and it gives you something to look forward to, there will be those mornings where you're up and it's dark, but it means that you get to be up for the most beautiful sunrise. And today was one of those days. I woke up and I was like, oh gosh, it is so dark today. And get my butter out the fridge. And then I was gifted this incredible sunrise, and I was like, that's why it's so lovely to get up in the morning. That's why I'm so grateful to get up in the morning, because otherwise I wouldn't get to see that. And no, it's not every day, but my goodness, when you get them, you're like, lucky me. And it was beautiful. There was mist and fog and lots of pink in the sky. Wonderful. Okay, now I'm gonna need to warm up this butter, I think, because I don't think I've got enough butter out. Yeah, I need to warm this up a little bit, I think. So I might put it in a bowl and put it in the sink. See if that works. Honestly, I feel like I could bake this cake in my sleep now, and I think it's time for a new challenge when it comes to this cake. I think what I want to try next is doing 2 of these and then doing a cream cheese frosting, like a sort of lemony cream cheese frosting in the center, just to make it have a little bit more presence as a cake, because this is fail safe, but doing 2 of these, that's my next challenge. I have decided that I'm staying in my Pilates kit today, because today is the day that I'm going to do the majority of the sort of summer pack down of my wardrobe. I'm going to go through beauty products that I've got in, make sure that they're being put into baskets, having a good clear out, deciding what's going to go into storage for winter, and then hopefully we'll have enough time to start getting out things like knitwear, coats, freeing up some space, that kind of thing, because I've got like a whole drawer of swimwear, and I definitely don't need a whole drawer of swimwear during the winter months. I probably need my favourites, and then that's it. So I've started off in the beauty cupboard, to be fair. I basically have this beauty cupboard for work bits and pieces. As you can see in here, we've got a number of things. We've got Ruth Crilly's new book as well, which I cannot wait to get stuck into, although I do. But part of me wants to listen to it on Audible. But basically, she has written a hilariously funny book about her life when she was a model, and I honestly believe that this is going to be made into like a Bridget Jones-esque film, because she's just has such a way with words and she's just so hilariously funny. So that's in there. I've got lots of bits and pieces that I'm sorting through and delegating places. So I usually have 2 baskets, which are things that maybe aren't my shade, or maybe they're not the right products for me, or maybe I've even sometimes got too much of them and I don't want them to go out of date. I'll put items in here and usually the girls will get to choose from them, and then like family and that kind of thing. Then I have this sort of shelf here, which is my like want to try products. Some of these are products that I've purchased myself. So this Tan Luxe Express Mousse I actually purchased myself. So same with this IGK. Some of these items are from collaborations. Some of them are new in, and some of them are PR as well. So lots of different bits and pieces up here. And then we get sort of like an overflow, and that's what I'm working through at the moment. So here, I've put a number of items to be taken down to my bathroom for me to basically use. So these are stock of my Elizabeth Arden ceramide, because I go through it so quickly and I use it pretty much every day. We've got some Philip Kingsley in here. This is the Remoisturising shampoo. Now I use the Remoisturising conditioner, but I have each of the other items, so the moisture balancing conditioner. So I'm going to try those out because I love their products. Some new in by Terry concealers. I've got the Florist Lily shower gel, some Clé de Peau masks that I'm going to put into my travel kits, I think. I've also got this, which I desperately wanted to take downstairs. This is the Chantecaille Rose de May face oil. It is beautiful. Some Creme Angène fresh eye serum and face serum, and also some Liz Earle, some good old Liz Earle. Now I love Liz Earle, so I'm going to take this downstairs. This is the Firming Serum in Moisturiser with plant-based alternatives to collagen, and then we have their Nourishing Cleansing Balm as well, so those are all going to come down too.
Is this for the, what is this?
His ears.
Really?
His little earnets.
That's so cute.
So what I've done is sorted through my to try products or stock products into different categories. So we've got SPFs, we've got body care, we've got fake tan, we've got hair care, we've got sort of cleansers and toners, skin treatments, fragrance, perfume. Oh, you're gonna love this satin. I saw this on their website and it was already sold out. And I messaged them and they said it's coming back into stock and they sent it to me.
a little bit like the Holland Cooper shirts that you've just got.
Yeah. How lovely is that?
That's very nice.
Oh!
So it was out of stock, but they managed to get one for
No,
you.
they got it back in stock. Look at the details on that. Oh!
What is it, jewels?
Yeah! We are currently going all in. I am sorting out all of my lipsticks, then like everyday bits and pieces. We're even going to be wiping down the inlays of the drawers, but it is all systems are go. I wasn't actually planning on doing a beauty clear out, but here we are. As always, I've gone in with a good old beauty sort out, and every time I do this, I know it probably seems a bit repetitive, but I'm able to simplify and sort of get a hold on my beauty products and get a bit more of a smaller edit. So if you remember, I used to have this drawer for sort of my everyday bits and pieces, and then this was all beauty as well. I've now got rid of all of this and just kept some palettes and some base products in there, which has made space for hair tools. And then down here, it's made it a lot more organised for hair products that I might use. Products that I'm hoping to give a test drive to is this Mellow Hair Shield. This is a heat protecting shield for long or damaged hair, so I'm definitely going to give that a go. And then fragrances in the bottom, and we've also gone in and simplified this area as well, keeping clips here, scrunchies here, styling grips and little styling ujjamis there. So yeah, it's a lot easier, but carnage has ensued. We are currently packing down summer bits and pieces, and I am just about to start on organising this sort of cupboard. This is my knitwear cupboard. Now there is knitwear upon knitwear upstairs as well, so I am going to try and be quite efficient with sorting through this. I want to get it quite colour coded and just, yeah, really give it some attention. We've just got to let this jumper go, haven't I? Because it's got a moth hole in it right on the front.
Oh God! No, that's not fair.
Why?
Well, it's a fucking moth eating it there.
I love how upset you get with these things.
How the hell did that happen?
I know.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm going to try and fix it and see what it looks like.
But the good news is my sausage dog jumper is safe.
Well, they're not going to eat that either because it's cotton.
Oh, right. Okay, so just the wool stuff at least.
Yeah, they're like
I just need
cashmere
to
and wool.
stretch this out because it's too tight. I need to, like, give it a good stretch because it's
I saw that actually in
ivory.
no, I
In
saw
Bicester.
that in Bicester.
I know, it's gone in, I got this last year and it's gone into Bicester now, but they've done an ivory version as well, and I really wanted the ivory version. But yeah, I'll definitely be wearing this year. With my sausage dog handbag charm. Yes, I'm going to need you to do some folding for me.
Right, I'm going to do some folding, but how picky are you going to be about the folding? Would you be happy with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the only thing is you've got to stop blocking my camera.
Oh shit. But anyway.
You keep moving things, that's what it is. I'm putting things in piles and you keep bloody moving them. Well, I have to say, it's not looking terrible. We've got some flocked hangers like that we've been craving to hang things on. Like when you're clearing things out, you get so many more hangers. It's really, really good. However, we are about to start the big bring down of the autumn winter stuff. So at the moment, all these baskets need to go. So it definitely isn't looking perfect just yet, but we have actually made a huge amount of progress. So in here, I've taken down all of my linen bits and pieces, created lots of space in here for any other tops that may come in. This is going to be the difficult one, my tweed, because this is what I've kept for summer. Imagine what's going to come down for winter. I can't even imagine what's going to be up there. We've obviously got the cupboard at the back, which is all kind of new in. We've got new in Holland Cooper, new in Arvel, we've got new in Sinead Keary, new in Lily Silk as well. Lots of new in pieces in there, so we're keeping that there. We've got boots, which are currently here with my equestrian stuff, but we've also had a clear out of the bottoms as well. And this is where I think we're going to struggle, but we're going to start bringing things down, start packing things away. Out here in the hallway, we've kind of sorted things into tops, shorts, skirts, sets and dresses to be packed away. These will all be packed away in little like cubes so that they're like moth-proof bags and they'll be safe to bring out in the summertime. Now I should give a huge shout out to the girls at Organised, because it was them who helped me do this pack down and kind of gave me all of the ingredients that I needed to do this. I realised that my autumn, winter and spring, summer pack downs generally happen over a period of time, and it would have been very, very expensive. So I'm trying to do it. It's not going to be an efficient use of my time, but I'm trying to do as much as possible by myself. And these moth-proof bags are what they ordered. We also have these as well, these tubs. So these have my winter accessories in and that kind of thing. So all of the things that I'm going to need to get out are in here. Okay, I think I'm going to be able to be really brutal with this as well. Oh dear. Wow, so many things I'd forgotten about. Found my gloves. I was literally wondering where all my lovely gloves were. Such classics, and I think that gloves are going to be a really, really big one for the coming season. Oh, cup of tea and a fag. Do you want to have some? Should we have tea and a cake, or something and cake?
Yeah.
Should we have the birthday cake?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
When are we going to have that? Do you want to have it after you've done? So I feel like we need to do a little bit more work.
Okay, I'll do this.
Okay.
Okay. Well, to the untrained eye, we have achieved the unachievable. However, there's still a little bit of work to do. We didn't tackle the dresses in the main wardrobe. I have done a bit of a seasonal shift out in terms of here. In fact, when I say seasonal shift out, I've changed like one jacket. I've taken the baby blue away because it felt a little bit too spring summer, and I've popped in another ivory jacket. I think it's really lovely. And I've just had a bit of a change up of shoes. However, as you can see, I've got a lot of shoes that have been shoved down the backs of cupboards and things like that I need to sort through. I've got some new ones in there as well, and just mainly get things a little bit more organised and looking a little bit better. In all honesty, I think my knitwear is a triumph. This is all of my knitwear other than like thinner knits, which I've put in my tops. So this is my knitwear. This is the best of the best when it comes to knitwear, and I'm in love with how organised this is. I've tried my hand at having a bit of a seasonal style up in here when it comes to skirts and trousers and things like that. This did have all of my espadrilles. Now it's got my burgundy, because if I had a burgundy jacket, I would definitely add in my burgundy shoes in here, but I don't. So I've got them on display here, which I think works really nicely actually. Doing my best to do the organised girls proud. So that's in there. In here, obviously this is like the new in cupboard, the new arrivals. And I've had a bit of a change up and popped some hats up there just to, I think it makes it look nicer, less cluttered. So this is nice and organised by brand as well. I've got my riding gear and boots. I've got my Pilates gear. And these are just like bags and technology and things like that. This could definitely be better organised, but that's something that I will get to at another point. The accessories cupboard is honestly doing the most though. We've got socks, we've got warm hats, we've got Pilates socks, we've got silk scarves, warm scarves, tights, gloves, literally everything is just perfectly organised, and I'm super happy with how this has turned out. Now, this could do with a little bit of a reorganise and a colour organise, but I've taken out the most of my linen tops in here, and I've added in some really nice fine knits. There's some Lily Silk in here, some Johnston's of Elgin, some Sinead Kiri, just really like beautiful tops that work really well being layered. So that's really good. We also haven't got to jackets yet, and again I've had a little bit of a style up in here, very minimal one, but doing my best. We haven't got to jackets and coats yet, so I will be very intrigued to see what comes down from the loft. I have also popped on something a little bit cozier. This was the shirt that I put on earlier when it was really warm, but the moment that the sun goes in, it calls for cozy wear. So I've popped on my favourite Lily Silk joggers and jumper just to keep me cozy and warm. I think the next job on my to-do list is to clean my makeup brushes, and then I need to organise the bathroom where all of the like bits that I've taken from the cupboard at the back that I want to use downstairs, I need to feed them into my storage down there. So that is the next port of call. And there we have the brushes to be cleaned. Now, I always use the Jamie Genevieve method when cleaning my brushes. I get a sieve and some dishwasher soap. This is the Attire Care dishwash in oak moss. I always do this in the laundry room as well, because I always think this is the best place to make a mess. And I just get some suds going in there. Now, the thing that I love about the laundry room as well is there's a little grate in the sink, and I can actually use that. I always forget I can use that instead of using the sieve and dirtying the sieve, because it's so good at getting the brushes really clean. And I always use an old tea towel. So, just to show you, this is a bronzer brush looking particularly mucky. I've just got some suds in here, and I just get it all going. Literally, I've just given that one whirl, and look how that's come out. That's so good. So obviously, if you have one of these, just to show you, it's like this little grate that stops things going down the plug hole. I always think you need the sieve, but you don't. This works just as well. And I always get rid of excess water back in. So, as I always say, if you're sat here, you can take me with you on your phone if you want to continue watching, but go and grab your makeup brushes and give them a clean, because I definitely don't clean them enough. And I'm always grateful when I do. This one gets the most love. This is my IT Cosmetics. And honestly, it's probably gonna need a bit of an extra one, I think. They are all washed and ready to dry for the morning, and actually what I found to be a very good asset when washing your brushes is a Marseille soap. These big blocks just means instead of having to pump it on with this, you can actually just swirl it on top and then rinse the soap off. So I would say that was a little hack that we discovered there, but everything's looking nice and clean, so hopefully everything will be ready for the morning. I am now in the bathroom trying to make all of this fit. Well, it's 9 o'clock and I have achieved what I set out to achieve today, and I am so proud of myself because there were many times when I just thought, you know what, Lydia, why don't you just sit on your phone and scroll on the sofa? That would be a really great use of your time. But I didn't do it. But I have set out some of the things I'm going to use tonight that were in my beauty cupboard. I'm going to use the overnight recovery mask from Percy and Reed. This sounds right up my street. give beauty sleep a whole new meaning with our intensive overnight treatment to transform dry, damaged tresses as you sleep. Sounds perfect. In fact, let's get that on now. You're a little bit wonky there, but my hair is pretty grim at the moment. I should have washed it on Monday, and it is Wednesday tomorrow, so instead I'm going to give it a bit more nourishment, and that is the sound of a sausage dog that wants to go to his bed. Porty loves his new bed. I'm coming, Porty. Just let me put this on my hair. I know you can hear me talking and you think that you're missing out. I'll pop some of this on. My hair is so grim. Ooh, strong smell. But it's like a nice evening sort of sleepy smell. I know, Porty, I know. Oh yeah, I like the way this feels. This feels nice and slippery. Now, my hair drinks things like this up, so I can really go to town. Gosh, this feels wonderful. Love this. I'm just gonna put as much on as my hair can take, to be honest. Is literally drinking this up. I know, my love, I'm coming. Yeah, wet to dry hair. My hair is drinking this up. Leave that in. Just gonna let him in to join me. Look at them two sat by their bed. In your bed. Go on. In your bed. In your bed. I'm not sure if you can see how bright that is, but that is not a light in our garden. That is the harvest supermoon, or a supermoon, and in preparation of the harvest moon that's going to be tonight coming through. Look at that. Look how bright it is. So this is one of 4 supermoons. And there is going to be a, I think, solar or lunar eclipse, and that will be the harvest moon, which is so beautiful. It's so bright that you can see my shadow and you can see the window reflected. And if you look outside our house, it looks like there's a light on out there. Look, how incredible is that? Anyway, I thought I'd share this with you because that is very, very pretty.